Hi everyone, this is Sam. Thank you so much for all your great comments and suggestions and compliments for my other two videos. This is so refreshing to see that people are really uh, taking this in a nice positive way and benefiting from the videos. That is my aim, and sharing it with others who really need to know just some basic things in life that sometimes we forget. But I am just so happy, and thank you so much for all your support out there. So today's topic is going to be relationships 101. Now, some of the basic things that we all take for granted are relationships most of the time. So I thought, why not? Let's do a video on that. So the very first thing I want to mention about relationships is that we need to respect the other person, whoever is in a relationship. Whether you're the guy, you need to respect the girl, you're the girl, you're the guy. So when you do that, you understand and you're giving that other person respect as a human being, knowing that they have their own likes and dislikes. It might not be the same as yours, and when you respect them for that, it creates less conflict, because in the end of the day, if you love somebody, you love them and you want them to be happy, and being for them to be happy does not always coincide with what you think they should be happy with. So it might be something you don't like, but if you respect them and love them, you understand if it's different from you, it's still okay. The other thing, which is very, very key to any relationship, and it is part of the foundation of a relationship, is honesty. You need to be honest to your partner. And that applies to pretty much anything and everything. There are no certain categories of what you need to be honest about and what you don't need to be honest about. I think that's when you start entering a gray area, is when we start having some problems. And you think, oh, she doesn't need to know that, or he doesn't need to know that, and it's okay, And we just leave that out of the whole information of the story, and they'll be fine. No, it usually is not fine. And what is worse is that it might be okay for a little while, but when the other person finds out, that's even worse than the actual thing that you did. So always keep that off the table. There should be no lies, there should be no dishonesty, because there are a lot of things in life you might not be proud of, but you should be comfortable enough with your partner to let them know that's who you really are, and that's okay. Whether they like it or not, they should accept you. That's for who you are. The next thing I would like to really point out is that we all are humans and we all are built differently. That's just the way everyone is. No two people are going to be the same. So there are going to be a lot of differences between the two of you, whoever you're in a relationship with. And learn to accept those differences, because we all grow up with certain things in our life, and there are certain patterns and routines in the way you do things. Now, that does not mean that's the best way ever and that everybody else should be following that. No, if you learn to accept the other person, you need to understand that you have to accept their differences as well. Not just the good parts, but also the bad parts, what you might think is bad. But at the same time, give the other person a chance. Look at what they're doing. If you don't like it, do it with them at least once and see whether you like it or not. Whatever they're doing might be better than what you've been doing, or it might not be, but you have to give that a chance. Always give it a chance. And even if you don't like it, that's okay, but at least you gave it a chance and you're still loving them for who they are. And that's the way all relationships work, because you might be doing something the other person might not like, and that's okay as well. That's who you are, and the other person's the way they are. But learn to commingle, coexist, and learn to accept each other's differences and love what the other person loves, because in the end of the day, if you're loving them, you have to end up loving what they love as well, because that's a part of them, and that's what you're accepting when you're accepting that person. Another thing in a relationship is that, yes, all of us are good at one thing and not the other, or we try to be jack of all trades. All of us try to do that, or some of us say, I'm sorry, but I can't do that at all. I can do this really good. So when you're in a relationship, there are a lot of it's a division of responsibilities. So we should all try to help each other in every part of the responsibility that each of us have. For women who are homemakers, that doesn't mean just because you're a homemaker you can't help your partner out in earning some money. A person who's the breadwinner of the house does not mean that's all you do. Does not mean that just because you're the breadwinner you don't help out in any housework or with the kids or whatever the responsibilities are in a home that the other person might be doing. So we all need to understand just because one person is doing a certain role does not mean they're stuck in that role. You are still both coexisting in a relationship. So whatever it is, you can all share. There is no yes, only a certain role for this and yes, only a certain role for that. And you can't go outside of that. No, we're living in a world today where everyone is doing everything. Women are doing everything. Men are doing everything. So you shouldn't get yourself stuck in some stereotypes. Just because you're a man you can't do something else, and just because you're a woman you can't do something else. Yes, there's some things women can't do, and there's some things just men can't do because of our physical makeups, but whatever else you can, we all should try to help each other out as much as possible. And that builds on your relationship as well, because you see, if you're trying to help your husband, if you're the wife and you're trying to help your husband out, your husband appreciates that in you, and he'll love and respect you even more because you're putting in extra effort for him. And in return, he will do something for you as well because he sees that you're putting in the time and the effort for him, so he's going to put in time and the effort for you as well. So that's how relationships are built. You gain each other's trust, you help each other out. Same with emotions. You need to understand each other's emotions, you need to share with each other, which brings me to the next point, and that is communication. Now, we all know those phrases, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. And yes, we all think differently. And not just because you're a man or a woman, just from person to person, everybody's personality is different. So there's different ways of us communicating to each other, but unless we communicate, the other person will not know how you actually feel. So communication is key to any relationship. We all need to remember that. You can't expect the other person to read your mind, and it'll be unfair for you to expect them in the first place. And second of all, if they don't understand what you want them to say without saying the words, then you're holding that against them as well. So we need to let them know how you feel. So communication is key to any relationship. The other thing is that, like I mentioned before, that we're all going to be different from each other. Your spouse or partner might do something really well, better than you a lot of times, and you should compliment on that and do it publicly, do it in front of everybody else. So you're proud of them, you feel good about them, you want them to know, you want everyone to know. But there's a lot of things that you might not like about them, but those things you got to tell them privately. If you don't like something, or they're doing something a certain way, or making a choice that you don't believe is the right choice, then you need to let them know privately. Never ever try to humiliate somebody just because you don't feel or agree with what they're saying or thinking or doing. Do it privately. It's a relationship you're in, it's between the two of you, and keep it between the two of you. So just remember that. Always try to compliment somebody publicly, but if there's anything they need to work on, do it privately. Respect them for who they are, and do not put them down in front of others, because that would just ruin your relationship. That creates distrust between the two of you, and you don't want that. And most of all, stay positive. That's an outlook you should have on life, on relationships, work, whatever it is. Stay positive. If you have a positive outlook on life, you're going to pass that on to your partner, to others, and they're going to feel the same way about life and relationship that you're in, and everything else around you. So even if there is a problem that you're facing, it's okay. If you have a positive attitude, you know that just a little bump in the road, and you're going to accomplish that, get over that, and you're going to move on to smooth sailing again. And life has a lot of ups and downs, so you need to have a positive outlook on life. And unless you have a problem, how would you know how good it was that you had it? So that's just the circle of life, the way life is. That's the balance of life. So try to stay positive, look at good in everybody else, and your partner in a relationship specifically, and try to downplay the negatives and look at more of the positive, concentrate on that. So there you have it, the Relationship 101 from Sam. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do share it, like it, and subscribe to the channel down below. Follow Sam so you can get future updates of any videos that come out. Thank you so much. Love you all. Bye.